Hi students, it's Mr. Paul. I have for you today the second video notes for 28.3, The War. You already read the first part of 28.3 dealing with battles in Europe, the establishment of the Western and Eastern fronts, and the transition from a sort of fast, decisive strategic war to a long, grim, modern industrial trench war, a war of attrition. The war extended into the sea as well. Britain, as you remember from their imperial expansion, has the most powerful navy on Earth at this point, and they're able to effectively blockade German ports, preventing German shipping from coming and going. They also seize German shipping at sea, categorizing it as contraband or illegal transport. Germany responds to this with submarine warfare. The British Navy is basically trying to bottle up the German Navy in the Baltic Sea and deny them any sort of sea trade. Germany responds with submarine warfare that they use to target not only British shipping, but any naval shipping that they perceive might be helping the British war effort. The extension of this is that German U-boats or submarines, Untersea boats, begin targeting commercial shipping as well as military shipping. It's one thing to sink a military vessel. It's a whole other thing to sink a civilian commercial vessel just because it is carrying war materials for the enemy. And a major turning point in the war is when the British civilian ship, the Lusitania, is sunk, a British ship, but with 128 Americans on board, and a massive loss of life, and a major media moment for the American view of the war in Europe. There's a massive outcry among Americans when so many American lives are lost when the German submarines sink the Lusitania. Another kind of critical moment late in the war here is the Zimmermann telegram. Zimmermann was the German foreign minister to Mexico, and American intelligence intercepts a telegram from the German foreign minister to the Mexican government encouraging Mexico to enter the war on the German side and to fight against the Americans. The thing that is offered to Mexico is in the event of a German victory in Europe, that American territory would be returned to Mexico, territory that in the southwestern United States that Mexico had lost in the Mexican-American War would be returned to Mexico in the event of a German victory in Europe and a Mexican victory in North America. Just like the Lusitania, the Zimmermann telegram provokes a big outcry among Americans that increasingly we cannot stay out of this war. This war is coming to us in the form of attacks on our civilian shipping and political threats from our North American neighbors. Right around the time all this energy is building for Americans to potentially enter the war, the Russians exit the war. Remember that Russia had mobilized quickly, perhaps hastily or even recklessly. They are not very successfully industrialized. Their troops are not well equipped. Of course, it's brutally cold in the Russian winter on the Eastern Front. The troops are suffering in the field. The civilians are starving at home. And this leads to the Russian Revolution in 1917, which we will study in our next unit. What you need to know for now, before we delve into the Russian Revolution, is that it results in the overthrow of the Russian Tsar. The Romanov dynasty that's been in power for centuries is overthrown, and Russia exits the war. Germany no longer has an enemy on the Eastern Front, which is going to allow Germany to turn all of their attention to the Western Front, to Britain and France. So the big question to come away with a concrete answer to here, make sure this is in the summary of your Cornell notes. What prompted the United States to enter the war?